Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Michael Daniels. I'm the creator of ScrollSpy. I'm creating this video to show you guys how ScrollSpy works and what it can do to increase your conversions on your sales pages. So, I'm not going to show you guys how to install the plugin. I think most of you guys know how to install WordPress plugins. If you don't know how, you can go ahead and get with our support after you purchase, and they will be glad to show you how to do it. So, like most WordPress plugins, they have admin. After you install them, there's an admin thing here on the side where you control the settings and see the outputs, blah, blah, blah. ScrollSpy is not like that. It's actually based on the admin side of pages and posts. So, what you're going to do is going to go to Pages, All Pages, and you're going to select the page that you want to track. In this case, it's going to be Home. We were already on it, but I'm just going to show you again. This is my sales page for ScrollSpy. Actually, it hasn't launched yet, so any data you see will not be real world. It's just test data. So, where does ScrollSpy sit here on the admin side of the page? It's below the content box. You'll see here, ScrollSpy settings. Again, this shows up on every single page and every single post. The default setting is disabled, so you're going to want to go ahead and enable scroll depth for this page. Then go over here and click Update. After it's updated, you can go down, and here we already have some data put in. You can see what it's tracked so far. This is test data again. Average scroll depth is 50%. It increases in increments of 10%. So 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50, etc. All the way up to 100. There's a reset scroll data feature here if you want to reset the data and start retracking, maybe after you make a change on your page or something like that. So that's there. The goal of ScrollSpy is to basically identify problem areas of your page. Areas of your sales page where visitors are jumping off and getting bored and just leaving without scrolling down to the bottom. So let's say this is real world data here. How do we interpret this? So 4 exits, 5 exits, 15 exits. This is clearly the highest exit point of the sales page. So we would think that 30%, for some reason, the 30% range of my sales page is causing a lot of people to exit. And I want to fix that, right? Here we can see 100%, 10 exits is the second highest exit point. That's a good thing, actually, obviously, because 100%, you want people to get to 100%. You want them to read your entire message, and you want them to get to your offer. So we're going to be focusing here on 30%. Let's go ahead and go to the front end of the site. Now, 30% will be right around this area here. The little letter area and introducing ScrollSpy. So, why are people leaving this? This area here is probably the, if I had to pick an area, it would be the most boring, the most non-visual part of the page. And that's a good chance why people would be leaving this area. It's a lot of reading, it's a lot of small text, which makes it harder to read, and the text is fairly close together, which makes it even harder to read. There's nothing here to catch their eye, there's no images, there's no bold text, there's no colors. So that would be my obvious interpretation as to why people are leaving here. Now, we came here to the front end of the site and we guessed where 30% was. You don't actually have to do that. I've been doing this for a while, so I actually just kind of know. But ScrollSpy gives you the feature. Let me show you an example here. 4 exits, 10%. I want to check that out. Why did 4 people exit here? 10%. We'll click on 10%. Actually takes you to the front end of the site. It'll actually go ahead and scroll. Well, it's not going to scroll here because it's the top of the page, but it'll highlight the 10% range of your page. In this case, it's just the top of the page. And you're generally never going to get below 10%. You're not going to get a 0% unless your page is 5 miles long. Because 10% generally fits within the screen viewing area. So this is 10%. It shows you where this is. If you had most visitors exiting here, obviously you need to change your headline. Let's take another example here. 40%, we got 6 exits. We want to check that out. That's a lot of people. I mean, it's not a lot compared to 15, but it's, compared to the rest, it's a decent exit area. So we'll click 40%. This time it will automatically scroll you down. I didn't scroll that, it did it itself. it'll scroll down and it will highlight that percentage area like it did earlier. This is 60%, I'm sorry, this is, what was that? This is 40% of the page. And you can interpret this, you can kind of examine, this is just to give you an idea of what it does. If this were your sales page, this would obviously all be, the content would all be different, you would interpret it differently. But what this feature does is it gives you an idea of where to look and where to start interpreting what you need to change to fix the exit point and to get more people down to your offer. Again, we'll go 70%. It'll scroll us all the way down to 70%. It'll highlight the 70% area of your page. Now, like I said, there's a feature here that I said I'd come back to. It's called Enable Flashing Image Overlay for this page. There's a tooltip here in case you forget what it does after you watch this video. Hover over the tooltip once you install it. It says Display a Low Opacity Image over the 2 highest exit points of your page to encourage further scrolling down the page. Now the default image for this, there's already one uploaded. If you enable this, it'll use the default image. The default image is a green down arrow. This green down arrow is actually low opacity, so it's pretty see-through. It won't obstruct anything on your page. It'll actually look like it's sitting behind the content on your page almost. Now let me give you an idea of what it does. Again, real quick before we do that, you can upload anything, any image you want to use here. It can be text that says keep scrolling for special offer, whatever you can come up with, whatever you can create. And I'm actually pretty excited to see what you guys come up with. So we've enabled it here. We need to go up to update to make sure it updates the enable. Once you click update, it's ready to go. The image overlay will now begin overlaying the front end of your page at the 2 highest exit points of your page. In this case, it's obviously going to be at 30% because there's 15 exits versus 4, 5, 6, 3, etc. And the second highest exit point is 100%. Now, why would we need a down arrow to display over 100%? They've already reached the end of the page. They don't need to go any further. So it actually knows not to display the image over 100% if that is your second highest exit point. So for this demonstration, we're actually only going to see it over 30%. So let's go ahead and go to the front end of the page. Let's say I'm a new visitor, just kind of checking out the page. I'm scrolling down. Oh, that's a nice headline, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's one of those sales letter portions of the page. I don't want to read this. It's kind of long. I don't really feel like doing it. What's this down arrow? This is, what's going to be running through their mind. There's a flashing down arrow here. So the purpose of this, if this is the highest exit point of your page, you don't really want people to spend time here and read this because it's going to cause them to exit just like the people before them, right? So what this is going to do, it's actually going to pull their attention away from this area and show them that there's more below. Keep scrolling, right? If I saw this down arrow, I would naturally just say, what's below this? So once I keep scrolling, I'm going to get past that exit point, and it's going to allow me to keep scrolling the page. And obviously, since the data shows that the rest of this page is not an issue, then they should scroll all the way down to the bottom, where there was 100%. So that's that feature. In a nutshell, that's basically what it does. Let me show you real quick. Reset scroll data. You can reset the data here, and I'll show you what it looks like whenever it's empty. So whenever you get it installed, you know what you're looking at. Now that I've reset that data, I can scroll down and see it's back to 0%. There's actually no data here, so this data here, the circled data, appears as the scroll depth data is put into the database. And I'll show you here how it works. So once you install this and you get down here, you see, oh, there's no circles, there's no percentages. Like, don't freak out. It's added as the data comes in. For example, here, we'll exit here. Let's go down a little bit. Exit there. Refresh. And you'll see one exit 40%. So it works perfectly. Again, you can upload any of the image that you want to try to get people past the problem areas. You can get creative with it. And overall, if you don't want to use that image, it's just a valuable tool to show you where people are leaving your sales pages. where they're getting bored and what you need to do to fix it. So, if you have any questions, feel free to contact support. If you have any questions before you purchase, if you have any questions after you purchase, feel free to contact support. We will get back to you immediately and get you going.